Alright, so hey guys, yeah, I know it's been a bit since this game was on the channel. I will say I'm going to say the date it is currently. It is July 2nd, 2022, 6:45 p.m. And July 11th was the day on which I began this series. And that's really strange. Not gonna lie, that's really strange to me. Um, I want to try and get the final video of this out on that date, but I don't know what's going to be going on in my life by that point, which it's pretty soon, but basically, I'm busy organizing an Echo fan dub, and I already have a few voice actors who are willing to voice characters. Wouldn't you know it, I'm voicing this handsome person, Mr. Chase Hunter over here. We have a Kara voice actor, and we have a TJ and Jenna voice actor. Well, same person really, but you know. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Anyway, last time we were in this game was on April 5th. And I just checked the video to see where we were in Leo's route, and we are currently when they find TJ and they calm down. So I guess I'd say we've about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours of this left. I don't even know. It's hard for me to really guesstimate that. My memory is so shoddy about Leo's route. Anywho, TJ sits in the bed, cross-legged, as he rests his back against the headboard. Gave him a blanket when I saw him shivering, and he's got that draped over his shoulders, holding it tightly around himself. Hasn't stopped the shivering, though. I seem to be the only one who doesn't flinch. I seem to be the only one who doesn't flinch at when we get close, so I sit next to him on the bed. Awkwardly, I put my arm around him, but he seems to take comfort in that and leans against me. Smell of sweat and piss is strong, but I don't say anything. Leo, meanwhile, sits on the end of the bed, gently trying to get TJ to tell us what the hell happened. Was someone chasing you? Is someone here? TJ shivers against me, and I pat his shoulder. He looks at me then, and I see his fur is completely matted to his face, like he's been crying non-stop. Those bits of dead leaves in his head, too, along with some dirt. What the hell had he been doing? Leo continues to prod gently at the links with his questions. If you can tell us, we might be able to stop it, or at least watch out for him when we leave. TJ looks at Leo, then opens his mouth, making a squeaky noise. Swallows loud, then tries again. TJ. Do we have any water? Seems like he has an extremely sore throat. I go to the sink, but Kudzu jumps off the chair he's sitting on and makes his way to it. Grabs up one of the small plastic cups we're running the faucet. TJ watches him until the raccoon brings the cup back over. TJ drops the blanket on his shoulder and reaches out eagerly for the cup. We all watch intently as he loudly swallows giant gulps of water rolling from his lips and gasping for air. Leo smiles encouragingly. He's not a fucking child, Leo. Careful, don't drown yourself. I'm not going to say anything. TJ stares, then shivers again, much more violently. I grip him more tightly. Are you cold? Grab with a blanket and try to tuck it around his shoulders better. Kinda, not really. I feel cold, but TJ rubs at his chest. He's still trembling, and I realize he might be in shock. I don't know what to do for that. Every TV show I've seen, the person's given a shiny blanket while they sit on the side of the road. I just continue to rub his shoulder in circular motions, trying to be soothing. I wish Jenna were here. She'd know what to do. Leans against me again, though, so I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Yells out the cup to Kudzu again. Could I get some more, please? Sure. Kudzu takes the cup delicately from TJ like the links might break. Cudzy moves on to the sink again. TJ leans in toward me, whispering, "That guy played sock with us, right?" Yeah, he did. Right. She goes back to it against me and stare at the wall. Well, this isn't good. He does seem to be getting better. He can recognize us again, but remember stuff at least. Leo adjusts himself in the bed, clearing his throat again. Tej, if you don't remember, that's okay, but I just want to make sure no one's coming after you. TJ blinks and shakes his head. No, I don't think so. Leo waits, but Tej doesn't say anything more. No one? You, were hiding, so... Clearly, Clay doesn't want to upset the Lynx, but it makes sense why he wants to know. There's someone lurking out there hunting TJ down. We could be in a lot of danger right now. Have to wait, though, as Kudzu comes back with the cup. TJ takes a few more big gulps before looking back up at Leo. I thought I saw something. I keep seeing things. I think I need to go home. Stared at TJ, studying him. I don't know why, but I guess I thought we'd all be exempt from this hysteria. I knew we were all normal, at least to an extent. So crazy chaos seemed too foreign, too different for it to affect my friends. People I know that are grounded, normal people. It's exactly what TJ was. Now, Leo stands up and steps closer, sitting down slowly next to TJ on the opposite side of the bed. We are gonna go home, TJ. Just need to go up on a walk from my car first. Leo reaches out and sets a hand on TJ's legs, and I'm glad to see he doesn't flinch at all. He's really calming down. Okay. TJ suddenly opens up the blanket around himself, staring down at his clothes. Sees his nose twitching and the skin inside of his ears flushes. Can I take a shower? Leo pauses, clearly I haven't expected that. Well, we really need to get going. Don't you want to get home and take a shower there? He's just put the blanket back over himself, trying to hide his pants. I just like to feel clean again. I feel like it might be a good thing for him to clean off, maybe have some alone time. Give Leo a meaningful look as I lower my voice gently for TJ. Sure, man, we'll wait. TJ slowly pushes himself off the bed to stand on his steady legs. Both of his hands, not so subtly, shield his crotch as he walks to the dresser. Okay, just don't leave, okay? We won't. He's still using his talking to a toddler voice. Both gives me a frustrated look, but I ignore it. And I'm gonna leave the door open so something just happens, just yell. It's fine and nothing's gonna happen, okay? Yeah, okay. She pulls out some pants from the dresser before making her way to the bathroom. Keeps glancing back at us like we're gonna disappear if he looks away too long. Try to give him a cheerful smile until he finally disappears into the bathroom. No, I was in the server I made for this fan dub I'm doing, and I was talking to people, and I was VC, and I basically raised the idea that TJ is mentally stunted from all of his being babied by the group, as well as just the fact that he is seen as just a cute Christian boyo, which kind of prevents his growth in another sense, and it's sad. It's sad, and it's... whatever. We sit around in a sort of circle in the motel room. Leo and I on the beds, Kudzu in the chair. We keep our voices low as we discuss what's going on, not wanting TJ to hear. This doesn't make sense. TJ is one of the most rational people I know. How is this affecting him? We don't know what's causing it, though. I don't know. I thought it was drugs or something. They all just took the same drug. I don't know. Maybe they're all crazy because of drugs and something set it off. Well, TJ is religious. So if he believes in that, then maybe it could go further than that. Shake my head. No, that doesn't make sense. People in cults do it all the time. He's not in a cult. It's all kind of the same thing you think about it. Your whole family is super religious, Leo. Yeah, so I have first-hand experience with all of it. Leo chuckles despite the situation. It just makes me wonder if this is something more than what's in everyone's heads, if TJ's having it happen. He taps his chin from the chair he's sitting in. What was it Duke was saying about his grandpa? Something about a curse? He always saying like he's swatting away a fly. Poon Chica, speaking of shit doesn't make sense. He shrugs, starting to wonder. Fill arms and look toward the bathroom where steam is wafted from TJ's shower. Well, stop one. I don't want you to end up like them. Frown and glance back at the bathroom before lowering my voice. Like TJ? Leo sighs. No, one of those fuckers probably freaked him out or something. Did say he was saying things. He suddenly stands there in a shitty position in the bed. You know what? We should just stop talking about this. We're leaving once it's done anyway. So if on cue, the water shuts off on back. Dryer starts up. Right after that, TJ's meek voice pipes out from inside the bathroom. You guys still there? I back gently and cheerfully. Here, TJ. Leo slides him to the window to look outside, pulling back the curtain just a bit. Think the others are out there right now? Friends? Yeah, Jenna, Carl, Flynn. Don't know why I hesitate with Flynn's name. Leo silently stares out the window a while longer, the yellow light of the street light. That's a bit redundant, but whatever. Flying across his face momentarily, it could have been the yellow glow of the street light. That flows better, but whatever. Lets it drop back into place. Any luck they got the hell out of here when this started. I said if they did, they would have brought someone back. Really, if anyone got out, they would have. I doesn't say anything, electing to lift the gun that is clutched in his this entire time to examine it. Does that mean no one's gotten out of here? There's a momentary silence. Hello? We're still here, TJ. He shits in the chair. Well, a lot of us have relations outside the town. Family and work in Peyton. In fact, Heather checks his phone again. Supposed to be in work in like 5 hours. Someone's gonna notice. Maybe we should wait until morning. Someone's got to be looking for someone by then. You thrust the gun back into the waistband resolutely. Nope, relying on other people has gotten us nowhere. We need to help ourselves. Oh my god, you fucking... Oh yes, you absolute paragon of machismo and masculine form. We gotta fight this thing by ourselves. Shut the fuck up. My own point, Leo. Your friend looks in pretty bad shape, like, mentally. Then I'll carry his ass to the van. I'm leaving, not leaving any of you behind. Stops and follows Gaze to the bathroom where TJ stepped out, his fur a little damp and spiky from his shower and a fresh change of clothes. Stands there awkwardly for a moment, rubbing his arm as well as they all stare at him. Hey, how you feeling? I'm fine. Things are more clear now. He smiles gently. Good, so you remember who we all are? Fuck you, Leo. TJ smiles weakly. Yeah, again, things are clear and you guys don't have to talk to me like that. Like I'm crazy. Nah, sorry. Clear my throat and try to assume a less I'm talking to a crazy person tone. Do you think you make it to Leo's? We can stay here if you want. Wait for someone to find us. Nor Leo's exasperated sigh from behind me. TJ glances at the bed. I'd like to just lay down, but looks back up at us, clasping his hands together. I think something's happening here, or something, doing something to our heads. I don't know. Leo narrows his eyes. What do you mean? TJ looks off to the side. I just saw things that shouldn't be here. This has never happened to me before, so... TJ looks down at his hands. I remember someone was chasing me, trying to grab me, and I scratched at it. She looks back up at us. And it was Jenna, and I was too scared. I didn't know if it was really her or not, so I ran and she didn't follow me. She's starting to shiver again. Um, what did she look like when you didn't know it was her exactly? He frowns, opening his mouth to say something, closes it again. Finally, he looks at Leo, apparently deciding to ignore the question. Can we find her? I can't stop thinking about it. I want to make sure she's okay. Okay, I just want to say something real quick. I really fucking wish that we got, like, a moment in this game where we got to play as TJ, where we got to see from his eyes, you know? Although for that to happen, that would mean that Sam would have to go into TJ, and I don't know how I feel about that. Voice gets a little broken, but he manages to control his tears this time. Leo grimaces. We really need to go, TJ. The faster we can help, as we can get help, the faster we could. Excuse me. Excuse me, I was just yawning. We need to go, TJ. The faster we can get help, the faster we can let everyone here, including Jenna. Of course, TJ's mouth tucked down in a frown, but doesn't say anything. But if we see her in the way, of course we'll bring her with us, okay? TJ's still looking like he's trying not to cry, but nods quickly. Leo rolls his shoulders, keeping the gun pointed at the ground as he moves to the door. Now, everyone, stay close to me. Chase, keep with TJ. Kudzu, you bring up the rear, got it? Alright. Just gonna head up the street to the diner, not far at all. Look at Busy trying to give a reassuring smile. Still looking at his hands, though, so I move over to him, put an arm around his shoulder, gently guiding him to the door. Truck to the diner is practically silent compared to just a few hours ago. Aside from the nightlife, there's no screaming or shooting. The way there is fairly straightforward, straight down the main road. However, we decide to cut through the backyard instead of using the road. Leo tells us it's the best way not to be seen if there are people around. TJ keeps close to me, wanting me to keep my arm around his shoulder as we move, his eyes either squeezed shut or staring straight ahead. It's like we're moving through a haunted house and he's too terrified to look in either direction. It does get too difficult to keep him that close, though, especially as we start to have to move through bushes and hot fences. I opt to hold his hand instead. In any other situation, I'm sure TJ would have been running for the hills in embarrassment, but he clings to me like he's never going to let go. We all move in silence through the brush. The quiet is actually almost as unnerving as the shots and gunshots were. As you move under a few stray trees, I try to keep the memory of seeing the corpse strung up out of my head. There's no way a demon, or whatever they said it was, did that. One of the town crazies killed and then mutilated that person to convince us of their delusions. There's 4 of us now, and 2 of us have guns. We're gonna be fine. We get to... Okay, this is weird, like, it's cut out words for some reason. We get to the diner after only about 5 minutes. The most of it is spent floundering through the brush and little broken fences. Because of the meandering, we actually miss and have to backtrack. Cautiously, we have to make our way around the diner to the parking lot and immediately spot the lone van. When we finally do get there, Leo jogs up to his van, shoving a hand into his pocket. But then he freezes and stares down. Fuck! Me and TJ arrive next to Leo when TJ finally lets go of my hand. What is it? I ask, but I see the problem at the same time. That I do. The 2 tires that I can see are brutally slashed and completely flat. I'd bet the other 2 are in the same way. Leo puts his hands to his face, rubbing his eyes vigorously with his palms. Who did that? TJ reaches out and grasps my hand again. Kudzu moves over to the other side of the van to inspect it. Brian. Leo growls out the name. How do you know? Leo doesn't say anything, sitting down on his haunches as he stares at the completely destroyed wheel. What's that? She asks quietly from beside me, studying my expression. Wonder if I should tell him. Probably not. Him scared of seeing things bad enough. We don't need to be worried about an actual person who's out to kill us. I actually completely forgot about the bear up until this point. If it truly was him, then we're even more in danger than I thought. It's It's just another person that we saw. He was acting weird. It's alright. He doesn't seem to take much comfort in that, staring at the tires. Whether or not it was Brian, whoever it was, had done a number on the tires, completely tearing the rear tire to shreds. Kudzu comes around the side of the van, shaking his head. Other two tires are the same. How far do you think we'd get in flats? Leos had a ragged growl, standing back up. Not far enough. We'd probably get to the lake before the goddamn wheels fall off. He stands there thinking. Should we just go back to the motel? Leo shakes his head. No, I'm not staying here another minute. I'd rather start walking, actually. To the highway? That'd take half a day. We'll at least be getting somewhere instead of sitting around here. Down Main Street, toward the darkness of the lake and desert. The ominous feeling I get is overwhelming, like I have no doubt that if we set out into the desert we won't last long at all. Don't know why. I shudder violently and TJ glances at me. I squeeze my hand and I find it funny how quickly the role of the one doing the reassuring is flipped. I think we should go back to the motel. Leo finally looks back at me and I see his expression soften. Hey, Otter, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get us out of here, okay? You know, it's the same tone he used with TJ earlier. He sets his hands on my shoulders, but I honestly don't feel very reassured. TJ pipes up from next to me. Carl. Carl's house has some cars. Maybe he's there and we can leave with him in the car. Leo looks out toward the hilltop where Carl's house is at. We can't see it since all the lights are apparently off. Maybe. He's not there, we could just break in. TJ blanched next to me. Even now he's battling his moral values versus our need to survive. Just want to go to the motel, hole up there and wait. Maybe sleep. If anything, just be able to lay down somewhere safe right now. Now with the new possible factor of Brian, I can see the benefit of getting the hell out of here now. Alright. Winston's jaw narrowing his eyes. Let's go. Remember to stay close. Yes, I know Leo and Kudzu sound the exact same. I really don't care. I don't know how to differentiate the two. We don't bother going off-road on the way to Carl's place, mainly because we'd just be trudging through sagebrush full of ticks at that point. Leo figures that since Carl's house is the only thing up the road. Aside from through the canyon to nowhere, no one would be driving there anyway. It takes about 20 minutes to get there, walking in silence up the cracked road. The only sounds are panting. I'm the loudest considering my short legs, and also the most out of shape compared to the others. When we're close to the mansion, I look back down toward Echo. Only a few of the streetlights dot the small town. I don't see anyone on the roads near them. I see a window or two here and there with their lights on, but no movement within. We only hear two sounds on our trek. One is a blood-curdling scream from over the town behind us, a woman. She reaches out again for my hand. When that happens, and I squeeze his comfortingly. Next, a few minutes later, is a faint laughter from further away that rises in pitch before fading back out. Grimace, wonder if anyone else had heard her, if it came inside my head. No one says anything, and I don't ask. By the time we reach the mansion, I'm covered in sweat, and I keep adjusting my shirt uncomfortably as it sticks to my chest and shoulders. The garage door is closed, and there aren't many cars in the driveway. Wonder if maybe Carl already took off. I hope he did. We stand in front of the door, and Leo holds out a hand to us, motioning us to be quiet. Watch his ears poke up to full extension before he moves to the glass in the door, cupping both hands over his eyes to peer inside. We wait a tense moment and wonder if maybe he's looking on something horrific. But after a while, Leo pulls back, shaking his head. Can't hear or see anything. Maybe he left or he's with one of the others. He offers quietly, standing just behind me. Maybe. Leo appears to be thinking hard. Then he reaches out to the door with an index finger. He hesitates for a full 2 seconds before pressing it. The fancied chimes ring softly from inside. Notice Leo's got a hand on his gun, watching the glass intently. I also notice that not only is TJ pressing close to me, but so is Kudzu on the other side, his shoulder slightly ahead of mine. It's almost like he's shielding me. A minute goes by before Leo tries again. We wait another minute before Leo lets out a ragged sigh. Whether it's from relief or frustration, I'm not sure which. Considering what's happened, you'd think some people from the town would come here to loot or something. Yeah, look at the town. Just a few glints of light staring ominously back. I'll be able to suppress a shiver this time. Turn back just in time to see Leo try the door, and to my amazement it opens. Leo seems surprised too, and let's go. Let's go to the... Let's... And lets me go to let the door slowly swing open. I don't... Doorknob? Typos, man, in the final version of this game. Imagine that. We all stare in the blackness beyond, a few lights from the TV glowing in the darkness. Should we go in? Leo clears his throat. Well, we gotta get the keys somehow. Leo steps inside slowly, hand reaching along the wall to find a light switch. He finds it, though the light only illuminates the foyer, the housing going from goddamn dark to slightly less goddamn dark. It's just Carl's kitchen, though. Nothing seems to be out of place as far as I can see. I start to step forward too, but I can feel TJ hesitate on my hand. Look back at him. You alright? Staring into Carl's house, his eyes wide. Yeah, I'm good. It's probably safer inside anyhow, right? She swells and finally steps in with me, Ketsu falling close behind. The mansion's pleasantly cool against my sweaty fur. And there's something strangely comforting about something as simple as the AC still running. A sense of normalcy. Leo stands there looking around intently before moving to the cupboards. He starts opening drawers, searching the counter, looking for keys. Leave TJ to huddle on the counter before moving to the kitchen myself. Hey, can we look for Carl too? Leo pushes a drawer full of silverware. Yeah, give me a sec. I sigh. It'll be fine, it'll be faster if I look for him while you look for keys. Leo shakes his head. Gotta stick together. He spreads another sigh and back to the living room. Somehow, T's already managed to fall into a doze, curled up in a small ball on the couch. How you doing? Gover Kutsu's got his arms folded, watching me closely. I'm doing okay, just kind of tense. Kutsu's one of those rare smiles at that. No kidding. Yeah. It's over Leo starting to rifle through some drawers full of what looks like opened letters. What's up? Back at Kutsu. I'm just thinking about Carl, if he's here or not. Looks back at Leo. Hey, Leo wants to stick together, but... Back at Kutsu. Wanna help me find Carl? Maybe you sweep the upstairs, I'll have a look in the basement real quick. Kutsu glances at Leo as well. Making things go a bit faster. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I don't really think anyone's in this house. Kutsu nods towards the window facing the town. What I've seen, they're mostly wrapped up in their own issues. Yeah, I don't really think anyone's interested in looting here. Alright, I'll take a quick look upstairs. Smile. Cool, let's take a quick look downstairs. Oh, keep a lookout for keys, too. With that, we both move to the staircase. I give Leo one last glance to make sure he's not watching before we both head in our respective upward and downward directions. Of course, Chase. Of course you would decide to go to the fucking creep basement in the middle of the night when there's a fucking hysteria going on. Of course you would. That's totally your MO, dude. Just totally. God, I'm so fucking happy I'm voicing this fucker. This is gonna be fun, this dub. Flipping the light switch to head into the basement, so only when I stare into a dark hole I'm heading toward that I get the first inklings of fear. I shake my head and remember what Kutsu had said. If anyone's here, it's definitely only Carl, and that would be a good thing. We can find him, we can bring him with us, and we'll be on our way out of this hellhole. Tell myself this as I bounce quickly down the stairs, wanting to get this over as soon as possible. Now in the basement, I glance around quickly at several doors down here. Storage room, a weight room, a video game, looking room. Start to realize that if Carl's here, he's most likely upstairs, and I'm really just giving the basement a cursory check. Start to rush through, not wanting to take too long in case Leo notices, if he hasn't already. Reach the end of the long basement hallway, and I'm left looking to a smaller room. There's a tiny white wooden door that I assume leads to the crawl space. Stare for a moment, not even thinking to bother with it, until I see little white hoof prints. There are several of them, like someone came and went dozens of times into and out of the crawl space. Look back behind myself, feeling a chill run up my spine. like someone's watching me. Looking back at the prince, I noticed the little door was just slightly open. Could Carl be in there? Remember, he'd been down here and we couldn't find him during the birthday party. That moment, I catch a glimpse of something poking out from the door. It's skinny and hairy and very long, maybe 6 inches in length. I stare at it, wondering if it's a Halloween decoration that's stored under there. Chase! Lee's voice booming down the stairs, jump a foot in the air. I don't have time to stare at the black thing any longer as I stumble down the hall toward the sound of Leo's voice. Icy glare directed at me as I move up the stairs. I just cower a little bit. Not used to having his monolithic anger directed at me. Told you to stick together! Voice rumbles out at me. Sorry, I found something. Well, Kudzu did too. Carl's upstairs. What? Thoughts of the Hub Princess come out immediately. Tell me you were down here, come on. More gently now, he grasps my hand, pulls me the rest of the way upstairs. Threatened us to turn into Carl's room, but instead we go further down the end of the hall. I think this is where Carl's parents' bedroom is. Carl's laying on the bed, looking over at TJ, who was in the middle of talking to him from the side. He glances our way when we enter the room. Leo? Chase? Squints at us like he's having trouble focusing. I smile and sigh with relief. Carl! We're inside the bed next to TJ, and that's when I see the ram is covered in a white-looking chalk substance. Might have been the prince downstairs. It's all over his horns, and a bit of what looks like drywall is covering the pillow around his head. What happened? Are you okay? Were you just taking a nap? Easy. Leo says to me as I shut my mouth. TJ reaches out and grabs one up in Carl's big hands. Then the ram just stares at the ceiling now, just as confused as we are. I go over at Kudzu, who's standing a little off to the side like he did when we were talking to TJ. What happened? Mumbled the raccoon, and Kudzu moves a little closer. I don't know, I just came in and thought he was taking a nap or something. Inspector Carl watching us. TJ starts to gently pat his forehead. But he wasn't? Kudzu shrugs. He was sorta... I don't know, he was sweating and mumbling. I kept calling his name, really loudly to the point that Leo came up. Christians breathe heavily and covers his face. I think he's crying, so I step back a bit with Kudzu, not wanting to crowd him, as TJ leans over and hugs him. It wasn't until Leo touched him that he woke up, like, really suddenly. Huh. No, I'm fine. Carl's had a weird shaky laugh as he sits up, wiping his eyes. I was just having a really fucked up dream. Felt like I was in it for hours, man. Carl leans back in his hand, staring at the ceiling again. I had a dream that the town went fucking insane, and then I ran back here, and I was sort of just downstairs, and then I was gone. Gone? Where? Carl shakes his head. I don't know, hotel or something? A few holidays I went in circus and I couldn't get out or wake up. Fun. References to Carl's route. Fun shit. Fun. Carl looks back at us. Oh, I don't like that line. That line, really reaches deep into my psyche and brings back fears that I have. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Carl. I'm so glad that you could remind me of my fears. You know, I'm gonna stand up and do this. I'm a pause. Alright, there. That's much better. Even now, I don't know if I'm dreaming. At least there's people around. Carl shakes his head, a cloud of dust coming from the fur. What are you guys doing here anyway? Actually, the town did go a bit strange. What, really? He seems to hesitate, clearly not wanting to rile up Carl more than he already is. Yeah, but we're trying to leave. Actually, that's why we're here. We need a car. So I saw in town, however long ago that was, it really happened? Maybe. Like, people running around, shooting stuff. He doesn't say anything to that. Why do you need my car? What about your van? It broke down. Carl narrows his eyes. How? Listen, we'll tell everything on the way. We just need to get out of here now. A bit of white chalk from Carl's head fur. What's all over you? Carl runs hand over his head, bringing it away to find it covered in white dust. Ran into a wall. Oh. Aggressively points at my arm. Dude, what happened? Huh? Oh. Pull my arm and remember the cut that I got from the broken window. Fur is heavily matted down with blood and the jagged cut is still oozing a little bit. Long story, we'll explain like Leo said. Ram stares at the cut so I lower my arm. Seems to be finally settling in for Carl that things are not right. I've also realized that none of us are immune to the new hysteria sitting into the town. Why would you be? You're not special. You're just people. Is this what it was like for all those people living in the town over 100 years ago? I should think humorously to myself that I actually did do what I set out to when I started the project. It's pretty clear that it's happening all over again. So you got your keys, and you need to get the hell out of here and get this town some help. Yeah, go from my room. Oh boy, I fucking hate the dogs. They just barked a bit. I really don't like dogs. I really don't. Pull quietly out of the driveway in Carl's car, which makes almost no sound since it's a hybrid. Leo's driving, of course. Carl's still woozy, and Leo's actually had to help him walk around to find the keys. Sit in the back between Carl and TJ while Kudzu sits in the passenger seat next to Leo. I had overheard Leo mumbling to Kudzu to sit next to me while he helped Carl into the car. Something about them needing to be able to get out of the car quickly with their guns if things went down. Leo doesn't floor it like I expected him to, but we moved down the bench of the mountain and through the town speedily enough. I see TJ looking out his own window intently. I can only imagine it's to see if he can spot Jenna, maybe even Flynn. Dude, I don't feel good. Carl mumbles next to me, both hands on his stomach, twitching the fabric of his hoodie. Just puke on the floor if you have to. I don't think Leo's gonna stop. Carl leans over and puts his head between his knees, groaning. Gets Teach's attention. He starts rubbing the ram's back slowly. I think it feels like there's nothing in me, so... The hell's going on? Where's Jenna? She frowns. We don't know. What happened then? Take a deep breath, trying to figure out how to explain. Well, we're not sure what's going on everywhere, but on Saturday, while I was at the diner with Leo, go through my story as quickly as I can, explaining to Carl what's been going on. The rest of the car is quiet, so I get anxious when I get to the part about Brian and skip over as much of it as I can. I only mentioned he held me there for a day. By the time I finished, we're already passing the lake. So is it Sunday already? Sunday morning? Yeah, I guess so. So I was out for a whole fucking day? I don't say anything in response. What happened to you, TJ? Are you okay? Carl turned his gaze and TJ just nods. Yeah, I was seeing things too. People chasing me. I'm okay now. TJ actually does seem pretty stable now after everything that's happened. Maybe taking care of Carl's taking his mind off whatever happened to him. Either way, it doesn't expand on what he saw. God, I wish we could see from TJ's perspective so bad. Oh my gosh. Carl shivers and puts his head back down while TJ continues to rub his back. A few minutes of silence go by before Carl speaks up again. It feels kind of nice. Reminds me of my mom. Yeah, actually, Mom did it too. Thought it might help. Yeah, I love you, just so you know. All you guys, I'm not in that place anymore. I'm glad I'm not in that place anymore. Love you too, Car, and everyone else. It's Erica, man. Thanks. Yeah, for my own love for everyone. Quincy glances back at us before turning his attention out his one window. He doesn't say anything from the front, his focus solely on the road ahead of him. We'll watch the desert whip by us for the first time, feeling somewhat safe as the town disappears behind us. But of course, it doesn't last long. What's that on the side of the road? There. He turns his head in the direction that Kudzu points. We all do. What we see changes everything for me from that point. Sure, things were crazy and a hard time to believe anything was happening, but it was explainable. People like Duke, Brian, TJ, even Carl were all seeing things. It's kind of a distant thing in a way. Something everyone else was experiencing. Something I was exempt from. But now there it is, something I can't explain right in front of me. What is that? Oh my gosh. She covers his mouth. Leo sits up straight, trying to see. Leo slows down as we pass. There's my car, all the windows shattered. And there's Duke lying a dozen feet away from the open door to the driver's side. And there, crouching over him, is something I can't explain. Holy shit! Holy shit. This was not in the game. What the fuck? That is not how I pictured that thing at all. Hairless, body and limbs long. Way too long. The head comes up and all I see are 3 holes in blood. TJ screams next to me and Leo shouts something before stepping on the gas, slamming me back into my seat. I had to look back, whatever it was is gone. At least it's gone from where I... Whoa, no. Don't add that art. You did not add that art for this. I remember this. No. No, mate, no. Because I see something move next to my window, and I turn to face it, and it stares back at me, but only for a moment. That thing, whatever the fuck it is, disappears almost the instant I register that it's there, only stare out in the blackness of the desert. Still. 3 holes, 2 eyes and a mouth blink back at me in a sort of afterimage before that too vanishes. What was that? What was that? Tears around my arm, claws digging painfully into my skin. That sucked. That was a sucky ass delivery. Holy shit. Too sucky. Pull away. She leans forward next to me, staring at my window. I know I'm laughing, but like, God, I'm getting goosebumps. I just, it's the way I deal with this shit, you know? I make jokes. At least I'm not the only one that saw it. She squeaks again when no one answers him. What was it? I dunno, some kind of animal, maybe? I've never seen anything like that before. Could have had a disease, lost all its fur, something, maybe Duke hit it. But it was walking! His arm is looped around mine and I can feel his body shaking. Look over my shoulder, through the back window. At this point, my car is a good distance away, only visible because the headlights are on. A streak of light fading out across the desert. Duke, is he... Some dry, retching noises followed by heavy, splattering sounds cuts me off. Carl's hunched over in the seat, head between his legs. It isn't hard to figure out what just happened, especially when the smell hits me. Oh my gosh, Carl! I suck at doing TJ. I really do. Oh my Christ. She looks torn between Blanche and Win, comforting the ram. Carl comes back up, looking like he's about to say something before diving forward again. Much louder retch followed by a much quieter plopping sound follows. Grimace on my own stomach royal. God. She's looking back and some paw up to his nose. You okay? Carl keeps his head down a while longer, his fingers twisting the fabric of his shorts. TJ tenderly rubs his back. I would have done it out the window. I don't want to open any of the windows now, though. It's okay. Are there any napkins there? Leo's been sat up to now remains silent. He's staring out the windshield hard, paws on the wheel in a death grip. After a moment of silence, Kazu checks the cup holders and drops open the glove compartment. Rummaging around a minute, he pulls out a stack of fast food style napkins. Hands them back to Carl and starts mopping up whatever mess he's made on himself. During all this, I'm still glancing out the windows. Not head on, though, because I'm terrified I'm going to look straight in those eyes again. We drive in sound for the next 5 minutes with no creature in sight, thankfully. But I don't know what to think right now. There's no way what I saw was some animal like Kudzu implied. The way it moved, the way it was crouched, and most of all, his face. Never seen anything like it, at least anything that's not a Halloween costume. Maybe one of the locals dressed up in a costume or something. But then, how the fuck did it keep with the car? Were we going that fast? You did slow down a little. I keep those thoughts to myself. Everyone looks freaked out enough with any more speculation. So instead I lean back in my seat, deciding just to close my eyes. We're on our way out, and soon I'll be safe in a police station or a hospital or something. I'll be explained when the cops get here. Trying to think about Duke on the ground, Janice in the diner, Jen out there somewhere. That thing. Shake my head, eyes still closed. You okay, Chase? His arm is still wrapped around mine. The places where our furs pushed together getting hot and sweaty. Don't mind though, as long as it brings him some comfort. Yeah, I'm just tired. Actually, now that I mention it, I am pretty tired. Didn't exactly want to sleep on Kudzu's trailer. Or Brian's. Started to drift off as my head bumps gently against the headrest, the soft whir of the AC on my forehead. What the fuck? Our urges as Leo slows us down again. Burrowing out my eyes, half expecting to see some other kind of nightmarish ghoul out the window. But I don't see anything. Just the road stretching ahead of us. What's wrong? He is quiet for a moment. I can't see his face since I'm right behind him, but I can see the outline of his twitching ears. I don't. Leo turns in his seat, looking out the passenger window, then his own. Heading the right way, right? Look out the window as well, not seeing anything except sagebrush and cacti. Then I do notice something. The mountains, which have been on the right, are now on my left, rising up ominously in the distance. We turned around somehow? Unless we're on the highway, which we definitely aren't. This road, we're just right in the highway. There's no way we can miss it. I hear TJ gasp softly next to me. I go over with him, but he's looking straight ahead out the windshield. I do the same in the distance. I can see headlights off the side of the road. No way. What is it? It brings the car to a hard stop, throwing me forward to the seatbelt. Then it is a quick 3-point turn, showing me right, then left before I'm smacked into the sea as Leo accelerates again. Oh, careful, my parents will kill me if I fuck up the ride. Carl laughs nervously, but no one pays attention to him. There's no fucking way I was going straight. There's that side road that takes you to some of the trails. We sort of went off on. Leo snaps the link suddenly. There is no way, TJ. That road is fucking gravel. I would have noticed. Leo was hunched over in his seat like an angry dad, staring out the windshield, his ears practically dancing on his head. TJ trembled, so I leaned into him and let him know that I'm here. It's clear that Leo doesn't want any talking, so we're all quiet. This time I keep my eyes open, staring out the window in case Leo did get sidetracked somehow. Focus on the mountains, making sure they don't disappear. They slope up and down, gently under the moonlight, speckled with dark spots of rock and vegetation. Vaguely, I remember when I've been obsessed with skateboarding and always imagined myself skating those slopes and car trips to Peyton. Up and down, up and down. Only echoing anything like that. Only slope we had was the one down from Carl's mansion. It was way too big. Tried to skateboard down it once, but that had ended in disaster when I blinked, staring out the window as the mountains just disappear, slope down to nothing. I squint, then look out Carl's window. Sure enough, mountains. Leo. I know! Leo speeds up instead of turning around, though. This is fucking possible! What are you doing? His claws come out against my skin again as he gets that scared cat look in his eyes. Leo mumbles mostly to himself. There's no way we're going back to Echo. Leo, slow down a little. He holds out a small grabber or lens and TJ's grip my arm loosens some. Gonna keep going until I see that car because I sure as hell didn't turn around that time. Generally, his voice keeps any of us from arguing. We hate to admit something about his demeanor as me just scared him as I am, but what is out there? Another minute driving, more awkward silence, then Leo hisses through his teeth. Straight ahead of us, the headlights appear. What? I must be dreaming. We're stuck in some kind of loop. Leo slows down more and more until we come to a gentle stop. We sit there in silence, staring at my car about 100 yards in front of us. Leo starts muttering darkly to himself, looking out the window, looking to the dashboard. One asks him if he's okay, but I know what the answer is. TJ makes soft whimpering sounds next to me like he's trying not to cry, and I finally put my arm around him. It's okay, it's just dark and we're going off-road somehow. Whisper whatever comes to mind to explain what the fuck is happening. Carl's his head down and his paws completely quiet. He'd be asleep for all I know. Thinking about suggesting that maybe we should just wait it out until morning in the car. As out in my mouth, I hear a scratching noise toward the back of the car. TJ's ears perk up, which let me know that I'm not the only one. Instinctively, I turn around in my seat. Bits of glass flying on my face. The next thing I know, I'm cowering in the seat, head down as far as I can push it. Carl, very much awake now, screams at Leo. Go, go, go! He was already on. I feel the car jolt forward. I'm bouncing up and down in the seat as we go off-road, Leo not bothering with a three-point turn this time, just going for a full U-turn. We're back on the asphalt and speeding down the road. I feel it's safe enough to raise my head back up and look out the back window. For a moment, I'm terrified I'm going to find that thing crouched in the trunk staring at us. But instead, all I see is a giant hole through the back window, the remaining glass jagged. Are you guys okay? Leo looks back and forth between us and the road ahead of him. Sit up fully. I think so. Yelled him over the side of the car and the wind whistling around behind me. Carl's bent over in his seat too, brushing glass from his hat and hoodie. Look at TJ was still crouched over in his seat, covering his head. Bits of glass were scattered on his back and his head fur. Pick some of the pieces out from the fur in his neck and lean over him. TJ, you okay? TJ shudders at the anything as I pluck some of the shards from under his collar. What was that? He shuts back at us, staring through the window. I don't know. I don't want to think of what I actually think it was. Leo keeps up the high speed, hitting some of the potholes hard enough that we're ever going to get a flat. Then we'd be in some real trouble. We drive on for another 5 minutes in silence, and then the headlights of my car appear in front of us again. This time no one says anything and Leo doesn't bother turning around. Watch out the window as you fly past my old car. Duke is still there on the ground, no movement where he was the last time we saw him. Since this is the area where the creature seems to be prowling, I look out the back window. I want to be ready in case it tries to come through again, but nothing happens. All I see is a small stretch of asphalt illuminated red from the taillights, and all I hear is the wind whipping through my ears. He bandages his back as he continues to remain hunched over. Carl sits quietly, staring out his window. On the bright side, the bashed-in back window is diminished to smell of sick. Sparse dots of light show up on the horizon indicating where Echo is. That's when Leo speaks up. Alright, what we're gonna do is head back to my house. You can get some sleep while I figure out what to do next. Leo pauses, but no one says anything. Sound good? Yeah, not much left to do. Leo grunts and hunches forward in the seat again. There's a sneaking feeling in my stomach as I thought I was going back to Echo. There's the comfort at least not being out in the wilderness, but I wonder if that's much worse than the town, even with the creature prowling around. Cool. Neat. I know what this is. Okay. stare at the window, watching the mountains move slowly by under the moonlight as we turn into Lake Emma Road. I'm wondering if taking one of the mountain roads out of town would be worth it, whether we'd have enough gas when it happens. Hello, I see you, you fucking bitch. Crouched figure sits in the peak of a hill just about 50 feet from where we are. Squint at it, just barely able to make out what looks like shoulders and a head hunched up under the light of the moon. Directly across from the thing went out my mouth, but I'm barely able to make a sound when it moves. It dashes down the hill in the blink of an eye, covering distance between it and our car in a matter of 2 seconds. One moment I'm staring at a tiny black figure, the next is right up against the car, smashing the side between Leo's door and mine. My head smacks in the glass and I see a flash of white. Same time I hear Kudzu shout us to hold on. TJ screams, Carl yells. My feet are fucking freezing. I open my eyes and stare down at them. It's almost too dark to see, but I can hear the sounds of sloshing water and screaming. Chase! Chase! Huh? Head aches and there's something in my eyes that stings. Everything's blurry. Chase, are you okay? Paul prods at my chest and I look up. Barely make out the outline of ears. Leo? Wait. And it hits me like the car crash we're just in. That thing! I got my window again, but it's all shattered and spiderwebbed, and I can see what looks like water pouring through it. Same time I feel that icy cold sensation running down my back as the water comes through the broken back window like a waterfall. It crashed into a fucking lake. Chase! Wake, I'm good! Grabbing my seatbelt, taking way longer than it should to get it undone. All the while there's a bizarre, feral, yowling sound next to me, and I don't realize it's TJ until his claws on my chest and arm and dig in. Ah! TJ, stop! Calm down! But he doesn't even respond, continuing on with the god-awful sound. Through the window! Carl's already up on the rear deck trying to push the water coming in. Come on! Carl's screaming, panicked voice disappears suddenly, and I can only hope it's because he got out. Chase! Chase, come on, we need to get you out! Leo's big paws growl at me and I turn around and push them away. I'm fine, let me help TJ! Chase! Leo, my fucking otter! Water at this point up to my chest. Car's front end is tipped down in the water and the sparse moonlight coming into the back and seats up to Leo's neck. Kudzu was someone in the back with me and TJ where Carl was. He's staring at me, eyes wide, looking trumpeting, escaping and helping me. Go, Kudzu, through the window. Leo, go out through your door. Chase! Go! Scream basically everyone, and I can only hope they do as I say as I duck down and the water goes over my head. Quiet piece of underwater is a sharp contrast to the fucking chaos my brain is in. Somehow on the wreck, the back seat crunched forward and TJ's seatbelt buckle was lost somewhere in the crease. I grip my teeth. I can hold my breath almost 10 minutes, but I know for most other species it's less than 2. Far less if you're panicking out of your mind like TJ is. I grip my teeth as I calmly try to reach between the seat and the back despite the desperate clawing the lynx is giving me. Again, though, it's far too wedged to get a hold on. Soon my calm demeanor melts away as I fumble uselessly with the seatbelt and time stubbornly marches on. Then I still start to panic as I grab TJ around the body and yank as hard as I can. It's no use at all when I pull. And the chest strap, it's jammed and I can't get any slack. TJ's grasping and clawing starts to become weaker. I try to think of something to use to cut the strap, but there's nothing. Maybe a shot of glass? Moving away from TJ, toward the back window, trying to ignore how he weakly tries to clutch at me. As I reach up to the seat, though, my hand slips between the headrest and the rear deck. I reach in further, realize it's the trunk of the car. With a lunge, I reach down and feel along the bottom of the seat back. My paw runs up against something hard and metal, and I know I found what I'm looking for. I grab up the buckle and latch it. Swimming around as good as I can, I grab the strap across TJ's chest and set my feet against the seat. Pull back as hard as I can, and just like that, it comes undone. Scoop TJ up, his limp body giving me an extra burst of adrenaline. I set my feet against the back of the driver's seat and push out. My aim is a little off, my head hits the ceiling instead. I'm able to find the hole pretty quickly and kick through it. It's a little awkward to undulate my body into a nice clean swim with TJ's weight, but I managed it well enough, and within seconds he break the surface. Breathe out into the air while TJ coughs and sputters. His arms wrap around my neck tightly enough to put a paw under his arms to keep him from strangling me. TJ, we're good, you're good. Calm down. I'm amazed to see how far we are from the shore. It's a good 100 yards away. I already see Kedzu standing there and Leo's in the shallows, shouting to Carl. A few feet further in, splashing around. Kick off in that direction as TJ needs to have it around my ear. TJ, it's okay. Remember when you used to ride back in the lake? It's like that, like old times. I talked to soothing, telling him my ragged gasp for breath. He does finally sit on the back, with his arms still around my neck. Still, it's a lot better than dragging me down with him. He has to calm down as we get closer to the shore, tapering off into a weird sort of mumbling sound. I make out a few words though, one of them is a name. Sydney. I frown and swim a bit faster and wanted to get him into dry land so that he can get his wits back together. Meanwhile, Carl finally grabs onto Leo's outstretched paws and pulls him back to shore. All the while, he stares at me and TJ intently. He didn't deserve. Shh. Shush him gently as I can. I finally feel my toes find the sandy bottom of the lake. I pull the blinks back with me to the narrow strip of sand between the lake and the incline and slips up to the road. Car's already there, flat on his back, spread eagle, so I do the same with TJ, laying him down right next to the ram. He's still trying to talk, though. Chased it, Sydney. How long did he... Gently I put a paw over Blinks' muzzle. It's alright, man. Try to relax. Breathe. He was standing next to me and starts to reach out to touch my shoulder. You okay? And then a much stronger paw comes out from behind. Much larger paw comes out from behind me, pushing Kedzu's arm aside and pulled back into a tight hug. Leo huffs into my ear. Thank God. Thank God you were under for so long. I'm okay. I drag the paw set against the side of Leo's face. And I bring it back up, I see it's a bit darker than it should be. I immediately see the gash in the side of Leo's face. Shit, your head! Leo brushes out my paws. Your head, I think we both had our wonders when something hit us. I reach out, feeling around my forehead before I feel a sore, sticky spot in my fur. It isn't a bad cut, but it's definitely leaking a good amount of blood. It's that thing that we saw next to Duke. I saw it stand in the hill and it just ran at us. I go over at Kedzu, who's moved. I stand over Carl, his arms hugging his chest tightly. Kedzu, are you okay? Fine. Smuts is terse and a little high-pitched. I don't know about Carl, though. He's had a little trouble swimming back. Carl starts to show a cough in response. I pull away from Leo and kneel down next to the ram between him and TJ. He's conscious, luckily, that I was panting. He's a bit shallow. Set a paw gently on his head. You okay? Yeah. Is it like he's asking me a question? Sure? I mean, yeah, I'm breathing. I didn't mean to leave you guys, but it's fine. Staying with us would have made things way worse. It's draining me how collected I am right now. Guess it's that same numbing feeling that I've been felt since escaping Brian's trailer. Just take the fucked up shit in and roll with it. Not bad, I assume it was so fucking cold. My clothes felt like 1,000,000 pounds. In this thick sweater isn't surprised at all. He is quieted down next to me. His eyes are open, staring up at the sky as he chuffs quietly. He's so wide and glassy I can see the reflection of the stars twinkling in them. I tentatively reach out and rest a paw on his head like I did with Carl. TJ barely reacts to his stare up at the sky. Teach? Leo's huge presence crouched down next to me as he gets closer and whispers into my ear. Listen. We should get going to my house. I don't like being out here. Especially if that thing really did do it. TJ, I don't know if he's able. Carry him. He does, scooping Lynx up into his arms like he's a baby. Alright, come on, we can rest at my house. Just get the fuck out of here. And he starts trekking up the rocky slope. Kedzu and I wait for Carl, lays on the ground not long before finally rolling over and getting laboriously to his feet. I hold one hand and Kedzu holds the other, and together we make our way onto the road and back into Echo. Okay guys, thanks for watching. This is a long enough video, especially if I want to space these out enough to get the final one out on June 11th. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed yada 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 all that bullshit. See you next time, fuckers.